Hi, I'm Terry Carter, and welcome to wrong site, Rock Like the Pros. This is my guitar site, not my ukulele site. But we just started this live YouTube videos. Yesterday was the first one. Today is lesson 2, which is we're going to talk about the 8-bar blues today. So thank you for being here. I know there's a lot of options out there, especially on YouTube, for guitar videos, so I appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to follow me, like me, share this, help spread the word about Rock Like the Pros. So our 8-bar blues, most of the time when we play a blues, it's a 12-bar blues. And that's probably about 95% of the blues we play are 12-bar blues. But there are the occasional 8-bar blues, 10-bar blues, 16-bar blues. I mean, you can make a blues any length you want. You can do a 9-bar blues. There's no rule saying it has to be 12. It just happens to be 12 most of the time. That's the form that really fits the 1-4-5 chords that go along with the blues. We'll talk more about that in a second. But I was listening to the Fat Man, which is a song recorded by Fats Domino, and that's pretty interesting. It actually is a 10-bar blues at times, and also a 8-bar blues. When he's singing, it's 8-bar blues. When they're soloing, there's a 10-bar blues. But I wanted to choose the 8-bar blues today, and we're going to be in the key of F, so our F is going to be our tonic or our 1 chord. All right, so let's just jump right into this. So our first chord here is going to be, voila, the F7. Now, you could also do normal F, but a lot of blues, jazz type stuff is more in using 7th chords. For this lesson, we're going to use 7th chords. So I'm on the fence about these chord diagrams as far as, do I have to go over each fingering, or just because they're on the screen, that's enough. So hopefully just being on the screen is enough. I'm going to give you a few pointers though on these particular bar chords. So with the bar chords here, especially ones that have all 6 of the strings, you want to just make sure your finger's laying flat against all the strings. You want to make sure it's not off to the side with the fret, but actually parallel with the fret. Right up next to the fret without being on top of the fret. Because when you're on top of the fret, you get a lot of bad notes, but when you're right next to it, 1, it's easier to press down, and 2, it just gives a nicer sound. So here's our F7 chord, and that's our tonic chord, as I mentioned. So we're in the key of F, so our 1 chord or our tonic chord is F. Just like if you're in the key of A, your tonic chord would be A. But we're in the key of F, so F. Now the next chord is a 4 chord, and all you have to do is count up alphabetically. F, G, A, B, except for that 4 chord, instead of being B, it's going to be F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So the key of F has 1 flat, which is B flat. So our 4 chord, instead of being B, is F, G, A, B flat. So here's your next chord. The B flat and the B flat 7s, because we're going to keep them all 7th chords. Don't need your middle finger there. It's actually not on the strings at all. It kind of looks like it does, but just barring the first finger and then adding the 3rd and 4th fingers. Notice on the chord diagrams I have the dots on the fretboard where your fingers go and the fingering underneath with the numbers. Okay, so B flat 7, just avoid hitting the 6th string on this one. And then our last chord is a 5 chord, F, G, A, B, C. So the 5 chord is the C, and of course we're going to make it C7. Now you can play this a couple ways. One, you can take this B flat 7 chord you had and just slide it up 2 frets, same shape. Because right here on the 5th string, 3rd fret, that's your C note, so there's your C7, and that's fine if you want to do that. I'm going to do the one that's on the screen though, which is like your regular C chord, except you're going to add your pinky to the, oh, that's kind of cool sounding, to the third string, third fret, with the other fingers on though. Open first string, and then muting the sixth string or not playing it. So there's your C7 chord. So you got F7, B flat 7, and then the C7. All right, now let's talk about the first 4 bars here, which is actually half the song, right? Because if we're doing an 8-bar blues. And don't forget, we are live, so if you want to ask a question or just say hi, feel free to. And even if you're not watching this live, feel free to comment. I will check them out and get back to you ASAP. All right, so notice we've got the first bar, F7, 3, 4, and then you have another bar of F7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to use 4 quarter note downstrokes. Then in measure 3, we're going to the B flat 7, which again is our 4 chord, and it's going to get 2 measures, so 1, 2, 3, 4, again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's your first half of an 8-bar blues. Let's play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, to the B flat 7. So that's the first 4 bars. Then check out what it does here in measures 5 through 8. Now, there's no set form for an 8-bar blues. As a matter of fact, this is a slight variation on what Fats Domino's version was, and I'll show you how I changed it, but this just kind of sounded cool to me. So you can, this is just a one variation that you can use. All right? The blues has many, many variations. All right, so we're looking here at measure 5. Where is this? Over here, measure 5. And we go back to the 1 chord, which is F for a measure. Then we go to the C7, right? The 5 chord for a measure. And now we have the turnaround, the last 2 bars, which is going to go F7 for 2 beats, B flat 7 for 2 beats, back to F7 for 2 beats, and back to C7 for 2 beats. Okay, so let's try this 5 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's F7 to the C7. Now your turnaround here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's your 8-bar blues. All right, so let's try the whole thing now. And magic. All right, 1, 2. Nice and slow for now. Don't worry about the strum pattern. Just all downstrokes. 2, 3, 4. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Now we go to B flat 7. Back to F7. Now C7. And the turnaround. The whole thing, F7, again, B flat 7, F7, now the 5 chord, now, turn around. And on our tonic. Now, where this is slightly different than the Fat Man version is right here. I'm trying to point over here. This last 2 bars here. On the actual Fats Domino recording of the Fat Man, he just plays an F there for those last 2 bars. So the F is cool. You can just play the F for those 2 bars, but I wanted to throw in something that gives a little bit of movement. Of course, it's a little harder, but I think it sounds cool. All right, so this is just like a 12-bar blues. We're using the 1, 4, and 5 chord. It's just the form is slightly different and obviously shorter. Now, we're doing kind of a strumming version as opposed to a of a boogie woogie style shuffle feel, which is more of what the Fats Dominoes version is, but I don't want to go over that today. I just want to go over the form and these particular chords. All right, so let's do a little strum pattern that's a little bit more exciting here. I'm just looking at the feed here just to see if anyone's out there. So instead of just doing 4 chord notes, let's just do this. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So we got. So down, down, up, down, down. Now the only thing I'm doing is I'm making those notes a little shorter, staccato sound, instead of kind of long and legato, which starts sounding more like a pop song. I'm just going playing a F short, and the way I'm doing that is I'm just releasing the pressure of the chord to get it short. Okay? So 1, 2, now with the down, down, up, 2, top, F7, flat 7, F7, C7, down. Now also what I'm doing is I'm accenting a little bit 2 and 4. 1. Gives it a little bit more of a swing feel that way. Turn around, top, B flat 7, and we end on our time. All right, so get that down. Make sure you can do it at that tempo. What I'd like to do now is kind of have some fun with it. It's going to do the same strum pattern, the same progression, except I'm going to gradually speed it up. So what you want to do is watch me. So this isn't necessarily precise if you're using a metronome, but I want to see how fast we can play it while keeping that groove going. So we're going to start off kind of medium, and then we'll get faster. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, and... Top, a little faster now. A little faster. Not done yet. One more time. I just wanted to have some fun doing it at a faster tempo. If you can't play that fast, that's okay. Build it up. When you start playing that fast, it almost starts sounding like a gypsy jazz, sounding like a Django style. Well, that's going to do it for our lesson today. Again, thank you for being here and supporting myself and Rock Like the Pros. And we'll see you in the next lesson.